What's going on, everyone? It's Jamie here from Solar Founder, and today we're going to be looking at side hustle ideas. We're going to go over 3 different categories: product side hustles, service side hustles, and knowledge side hustles. They're all going to be easy to start hustles here. They're going to help generate some side income. They're all going to take different levels of income to start. Some of them are going to be no money, some of them are going to be a little money. And all of these are going to depend what you want to do as your side hustle. How much time do you want to spend on it? Are you okay with trading hours for dollars? Or do you want to build something that's more passive? Today, we're going to take a look at quite a few ideas here. So we're going to go into each idea, explain a little bit of what it is and some examples. Before moving on to the next one, this way we don't make the video too long here. And before I dive in, I just want to say if you're enjoying this video along the way here, I would love it so much if you hit that like and subscribe button below. This is a new YouTube channel trying to find our voice and our ideas. So hitting that subscribe button below would really help the channel out. So let's dive into our first section here, and that's going to be product ideas. So these are going to be selling things that are products. So the first one we'll take a look at here is dropshipping. Now, dropshipping has always been in the media about how negative it is, how unprofitable it is, but there can be niches that it does work well. And essentially what dropshipping is that rather than buying your own inventory, you're going to go to a site such as AliExpress or use another US fulfillment service. And you're just simply going to import their products into your Shopify store, for example. You could use Wix or WooCommerce, depending on the integrations they have. So essentially when someone buys from you, you're going to act as a middleman. So if someone buys from you, you're going to take that money and you're going to go buy that product and ship it directly to the customer. It's a great model because you don't have to have any inventory starting out. And it can scale well if the supplier is good. And it allows you to sell a broad range of products. Some of the negatives are that you're selling generic products and sometimes the quality isn't so great depending what the product is and where you're getting from. The next one we'll take a look at is print on demand. So this is going to be similar to drop shipping, where you're not going to go and buy a bunch of clothes with a bunch of designs. Rather, you're only going to order the product when someone purchases it. So let's say you have a custom t-shirt here with a custom logo or a brand. You're not going to own any of the inventory. Someone buys from you and you're going to tell the supplier or the print on demand supplier, hey, I want this t-shirt with the logo printed here. So they're going to print that and then ship it directly to the customer. Again, this is a great model as it takes very little money to start. I had previously started a clothing brand. I did this to test the logo idea. I wasn't sure how successful it was going to be, so I didn't want to spend $2,000, $3,000 on a small run of inventory. I just wanted to see if it would make a few sales, so I set up a Shopify store and had a print on demand integration. I wasn't making much money on this print on demand sale. I was making a few dollars here, but it was great just to test it initially. It can be great because you can have quite a few different colors and combinations. And after my experiment, I realized only black and white were selling. So that is what I ended up purchasing. I also realized mostly mediums and smalls were selling. So I didn't really need to order too many of the extra large or larges, depending on the demographic that I was selling to. Next one is going to be platform sales. This is where you're selling a product on an external platform. It could be Etsy, it could be eBay, it could also be Amazon. But rather than bringing traffic to your own site, you're going to piggyback on someone else's traffic. So if I go to eBay, I'm not specifically looking for your store, but I'm probably going to be looking for a product. And so if you're selling something that people are looking for, here, these are wireless headphones, you can make that sale through eBay. This is great because people trust these platforms. They use them. They're going to deal with all the purchasing, a lot of the customer service too. The caveat here is that you're going to have to pay them a fee for using their platform. It can be competitive if you're selling the same products, but it is something that is great starting out, as it can be very expensive to bring traffic to your own website. Let's say you want to launch your very own e-commerce store. It can be a little difficult there to bring traffic in, especially at a cost-effective rate. Now you can do drop shipping with Amazon and eBay as well, although that is not really encouraged by the platforms. And I know it was popular a few years ago, but I'm not sure how effective it is at this point in time. Again, though, much easier to start here as there is traffic, and so you have to worry less about the marketing side of things. Rather, you can focus on the products you're selling. Next, let's move on to the knowledge section. So it's going to be using your own knowledge and information. It could be stuff you research and it could be stuff you learn, but generally it's some kind of expertise you have already. So the first one is going to be to sell courses. So if you have a knowledge, let's say you're an instructor for boxing, for example, you want to create some courses on how to box. Maybe it's a beginner boxing course. Maybe you're a freelance writer and you want to teach people how to do the same thing. You can package up all your knowledge into a course and then sell that to customers so they can benefit from your knowledge. Now you may say that I'm not really an expert, but in comparison to someone, let's say you're just starting out, you spent 2 years on YouTube creating videos and you've started to understand things about the algorithm that a beginner wouldn't understand. So you can package up that knowledge there and sell it to a consumer. You don't have to be the top expert in the field, but if you are ahead of where the customer is, that information is still going to be useful to them. So I'd say don't undersell yourself here on courses. You don't need to be the pinnacle expert, but if you're one of the middling experts or you have some really good knowledge, you can sell that in a course. You can use platforms such as Udemy, which make it really easy to host your course and for customers to discover it. So maybe you want to create a small course and test it out, you can launch it on Udemy there, rather than using your own platform such as Teachable. The next knowledge-based thing we'll look at here are blogs. So this one is going to take a time to create. It's going to take a lot of time to write your blogs to get ranked using SEO. This is more of a long-term strategy here. But once you get it working, let's say 6 months to a year, it can bring in really consistent income. If you're using affiliate marketing, or maybe you're having revenue share for ads, it can bring traffic over time. So it's something that's very passive here, where after you write that blog post, it could get 100,000, maybe 500,000 views, something crazy like that if you have a successful post. And that's just going to be bringing people automatically. You're not going to have to explain to them each time what it's about, as your blog is going to do that for you. So something more long-term, but great for the long run, especially for passive income. It's going to lead itself into YouTube. So if you're not a big writer, you'd prefer to do video content. I know I am that way here. YouTube being a great way to start. Once you reach 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours watched, and you have no strikes on your channel, you can apply for monetization on YouTube. And so this gives you a revenue share of the views that you get on your channel. And so it can range from $3 to $5. It could be much more depending on your niche, but YouTube is going to give you some money for each ad that is viewed on your channel, which could be great passive income there, as you can have videos from years ago that are still generating views. You can also do affiliate links, partnerships, sponsored videos. There are quite a big avenues here when you start to build your audience. Lastly, we'll take a look at podcast. Maybe writing isn't your thing, maybe videos aren't your thing, but you're a really good speaker and you want to create a podcast. This can be great as well. Again, it can take longer to build. There's always room for niches there, depending on the content, depending on your knowledge. So I wouldn't be intimidated by that. And overall, it's very easy to get started with a podcast. You can do it by yourself. You can bring guests on, and it can be a great way to get to know people as well. Again, you can be focusing on affiliate links here, sponsorship, to start generating income. For these knowledge ones here, especially YouTube, blogging, and podcasting, it's going to take a while for you to hit any revenue milestones. So at the beginning, focus on really good content, and then people will start to come to your website after that. And then once you have an audience, you can start generating revenue. Next, let's take a look at service businesses. These would probably be the fastest to start here. We'll look at really small ones here. These can be not necessarily businesses, but just jobs you're doing to generate some extra income. Maybe you don't want to spend the time and you want some income now, which can always be better. There's the whole saying of having one in hand is better than two in the bush. I believe that's a reference to bird hunting or something along those lines. It's actually something you talk about in finance. We'd rather have the money today. And so service jobs are going to be great for that. So let's go over some quick ideas here. One is just going to be online surveys. There are plenty of companies looking for information on customers. So you simply have to fill out an online survey. You can get some income from that. So overall, really easy to start. If you live in a neighborhood and you like dogs, being a dog walker could be a great one. Where you're walking people's dogs for money. Everyone needs their dogs walked. Everyone needs their dogs looked after. And if you can maybe start to build this brand here, or in your neighborhood, you're the best dog walker. Maybe you want to franchise it out to your little sibling or something. And you can start to have some employees. Then you can generate more revenue there. Easy to start though, as it's not going to require any physical location. Next, it's going to be a freelance writer. Many people need writing out there, so if you want to advertise your service on platforms such as Upwork, you can start taking jobs and generating income there. Next, it's simply going to be Upwork. You probably have some skills that you developed in your career or in your life, or maybe you just have extra time on your hand. So it could be looking at a platform like Upwork. I would also add TaskRabbit on there if that is available in your location. This also could be an Uber driver, it could be Lyft, it could be Uber Eats, it could be DoorDash. So I'm just going to change the slide here to include all of them. You're going to give up a little bit of margin here and you're not going to have that close relationship. But using one of these platforms makes it really easy to get started. I've had friends who've done DoorDash or Uber Eats where they buy a bike for under 50, 100 bucks and they simply just are in the city, so they go around and pick up orders and deliver them. I had one friend who was making upwards of $2,000 a week, and after work, he would just go and bike. It was the summertime, he was getting exercise, he was losing weight, and yet he was making money, and it was really easy to pick up as a side gig here, as there is a ton of demand on these platforms, and definitely one of the quickest ways to start generating extra income from your time. Looking longer term, you can also be a social media manager. Almost everyone needs their social media accounts. This one is going to take a little hustle to get started, as you're going to have to contact people and convince them to start paying you to manage their social media. You may want to start for free on a side basis, but especially if you're young, you're going to have just more of an innate understanding on how social media works and how to be popular on it. So that can be a huge leg up there. Next, we'll take a look at a moving business. This can be easy to start here if you have a few friends, especially if you're young. You're just not moving things for people. Personally, I had a storage business where when I was at university, people needed stuff stored over the summer after moving out of res. So what I did is I picked up their stuff, I stored it in a storage locker, and I delivered it to them when they came back. It was super easy to start, super easy to get marketing, as a lot of friends just ended up using the service, and it was a nice way to generate some extra income as a side hustle. So overall, this concludes the video on side hustle ideas. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would love it if you hit that like and subscribe button below. If you have any suggestions for different side hustles, or if you think I missed any, just leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.